In this video, I'm going to talk to you about how I track my net worth as an Amazon seller. And this is something that I do every single month. But before we get started, I always share my Amazon sales for the day. So it's about 2 p.m. and I'm at 1260 in sales. This is my phone showing that I'm not full of crap. But yeah, so these are the sales, and this is basically how I add up my net worth. So you can do this in a lot faster of a way, because tracking all of this will take you a little bit, especially if you're pretty deep in the trenches. But this is something that I do every single month, because similarly to doing a profit and loss for yourself every single month, which if you're not doing that, I highly recommend it, because you're kind of walking around in the dark, don't know what's working, what's not. If you know all of this information for yourself on a continual basis and seeing that the numbers are going up every single month, you know you're on the right track. So highly recommend to track your profit and loss every single month. And I also recommend tracking your net worth every single month, especially as you're looking to build wealth in the future. So I'm just going to quickly go over all these numbers and basically what we're trying to do. Basically, the goal is to get these numbers here. Trying to understand how much money we have invested in our business and how much money with the business plus whatever is in personal accounts. And then something that I also like to do to kind of understand the trajectory of where I'm headed with my business is I also do a rough calculation of what I think I'll have after all of my items sell, and what that calculation would be if you added that to personal. Because let's say you do books. I do eBay to Amazon, electronics, office supplies, etc. So I'm going to give more of that type of an example. Let's say I find a really good lot of docking stations that are new in box, and I spent $2,000 on them, but they're 200% ROI, so that's $4,000 potential profit. It is nice to, in this calculation, be able to add those types of things and see where that is, how that's affecting your net worth. Now, that's not going to be officially part of your net worth for months if your inventory takes months to sell, but that's the direction it's heading. So basically what I track is how much money is currently in my bank account. I track anything that is currently inbound from Amazon as far as money, like your payout. So I track that separate from what's coming in my 2-week disbursement, because I often request my money every day or two. So that number will be found in your disbursements, and sometimes takes a day or two to show up. I also do track payout right here. If you're running with any credit cards, I list all the credit cards that I would be using right here, and that is obviously going to be minused off of the values here. So basically right here, you don't really have to do this. I used to be very anxious about my payout. But basically what you're going to do is you're going to get all these numbers, and then let's say you have 20,000 in the bank and then 10,000 on all these cards, and then 0 inbound. That's going to be 10,000 positive. That's here. Whatever your numbers are, that's what they are. And then here for this section, depending on your business model, you can add or take out whatever you want here. But I'm looking at what my inventory buy costs are for all of these different categories. So I find these numbers in whatever listing / bookkeeping software you use. So like Inventory Lab has an inventory valuation section that I use. If you use Seller Board, or I think GoToLister has something like this as well, you can find all these numbers, assuming that you're actually listing your items with buy costs, which is, if you're not doing that, do that before making sure that your buy costs are actually correct in whatever listing software you do. That's super important because you don't want to sell an item for $100 and then pay taxes on that if your buy cost was $60. If you do that over and over again, that's not going to be good because you're going to be paying taxes on way too much. So yeah, having some understanding about like how much buy cost is in all of these categories. I do a little bit of an estimation for anything that I'm liquidating. So if you have death piles of stuff that you haven't listed yet, I just go there with my phone and I just add up generally what I think the buy cost of that stuff was. Or if it's in really bad condition, what I think I'm going to be able to get for it. Again, this is the Amazon payout that we were talking about before. You could do this with your eBay payout, your Walmart payout. And if you have any cash back, let's say you've been running the Chase sign-up bonuses, I mean, you're going to be $900 richer if you have $900 in points if you spend it on lowering your credit card balance. If you spend it on vacations, like you'll have some good experiences and it won't be part of your net worth. And then here, this is what I was talking about with the after sales. You'll have to adjust these numbers based on your average selling price. I've found these to be decently accurate. Basically, the idea is in my inventory lab, let's say it says 150K of sales value is listed in my FBM store. If I multiply that number by 0.82, if everything were to sell today, that would cover fees and shipping, and I'd be left with whatever that times 0.82 is in cash. So that's kind of where your net worth is heading, even though it hasn't happened yet. And obviously prices sometimes go down, they sometimes go up, but oftentimes they go down. So these numbers are very hypothetical, and it's just helping you understand and be motivated to see, okay, like, you know, like the net worth hasn't officially gone up yet, but once all my inventory sells through, once these 3,000 books or my eBay to Amazon store has sold through, that adds $20,000 to my net worth or $100,000 to my net worth in the future once this stuff sells through. And then also personal, you can do whatever accounts you guys have. Just generally for us, the basic things that we have is just a regular bank account, and then we invest in the S&P 500 as well. So whatever that total is for you, you can add this to all of this, and that will be this number. All of this, well, you wouldn't add this to this because this is your future sales value. This would be all of your buy costs of everything minus all of your credit. And then if you want an after sales number, basically what you're going to do is you're going to minus off the buy costs, and then you're going to minus that from these numbers. Well, exactly how does that work? Basically, you're not going to want to count the buy cost and the sales price. You just want to understand how much money you're going to have after your sales, and then you can add that to your personal. So basically that gives you a trajectory of, okay, I have $50,000 worth of inventory, but when it sells through, that's going to be another $30,000 profit. So therefore, my net worth is going to grow by $30,000 once my inventory sells through, or whatever it is. So this is just a very basic how I add up my net worth. You can definitely simplify this and not spend as much time with this. One also thing that I use with this as well is I do add up whatever is at the prep center or at home that hasn't been listed yet, because if you're buying and selling a lot of stuff at any given point, you could have $20,000 that you haven't even listed yet. So if you want accurate numbers, you can do it like that, or you can just leave it out every single time. But yeah, you can add, take away, whatever you want to do with these numbers, but some kind of net worth add up I think is really important, and it's really encouraging to see the net worth grow every single month. Again, if you're not tracking your profit and loss, please, for the love of everything good, track your profit and loss. You're literally walking around in the dark and you don't even know what improvements you need to make if you don't know how much money you're making in your store. Because things get really discouraging if you feel like you're not making money. So having some knowledge into that is extremely helpful and motivating. So hopefully that's helpful, and have a good rest of the day and take care. Bye.